Before we start, I want to say that only 1% of you are subscribed. Please subscribe because when we reach 1,000 subscribers, I will post a special video for you. The Interstellar Fashion event was the highlight of the galactic social calendar held aboard the sprawling Celestial Harmony space station that orbited a neutral planet. The space station buzzed with activity, its corridors filled with beings from different worlds, each showcasing their unique styles and colors. Jack Andrews, a renowned human fashion photographer known for his ability to capture the soul of his subjects, was setting up for one of the most anticipated shoots of the evening. His assistant, a bright-eyed young man named Leo, handed him lenses and lighting rigs, trying to keep up with Jack's brisk pace. "Make sure we've got the diffusers set up over there, Leo. When Zara steps in, I want the light to hit her just right," Jack instructed, pointing to the designated spot on the shiny metallic floor. Leo nodded, his eyes scanning the setup. "Jack, do you think she'll be as surreal as they say? I mean, Virilians are known for their ethereal beauty, but—" Jack smiled, adjusting his camera settings. "Every year, they say the next supermodel is the most stunning yet. But something tells me Zara might just live up to the hype. Get ready for a show." As if on cue, Zara entered the studio, her presence almost ethereal. Her tall, slender frame moved with an elegance that was almost fluid, her skin shimmering with a natural luminescence that seemed to change colors subtly with her movements. Jack's breath hitched slightly, a reaction he hadn't anticipated. "Mr. Andrews? I'm Zara. It's a pleasure to work with you," she said, her voice melodic, echoing slightly as if whispering through the wind. "The pleasure is all mine, Zara. Let's make some incredible art today," Jack replied, extending his hand. Zara's smile widened as she shook his hand, her grip firm yet gentle. "I've seen your work. Your ability to capture light is quite remarkable. I'm excited to see what you do with a subject like me." Leo watched the exchange with keen interest, sensing the immediate chemistry between the photographer and his muse. He busied himself with the equipment, but his ears were tuned to their conversation. Jack directed Zara towards the mark on the floor, explaining the concept of the shoot. "The theme is stellar elegance. We're trying to blend high fashion with the cosmos. I want to capture you as if you're emerging from the stars themselves." Zara nodded thoughtfully, her eyes sparkling with a hint of starlight. "I can do that. Let's create something that will be remembered for light years." As the shoot progressed, Jack and Zara worked seamlessly together, their mutual respect evident. Each click of the camera seemed to capture not just Zara's outward appearance, but something deeper, something almost tangible. "Move a little to your left. Perfect. Hold that," Jack directed, his voice calm yet filled with excitement. Leo adjusted the lights, following Jack's subtle cues, and occasionally stealing glances at the monitor where the images appeared. The hours flew by, and with each frame, Jack found himself more intrigued by Zara, not just as a model, but as a being. Her professionalism and ability to portray emotion through tiny gestures and expressions made him realize why she was the talk of the galaxy. As the session wrapped up, Jack lowered his camera, a satisfied grin on his face. "Zara, that was fantastic. I think we've got some truly unique shots here." Zara stepped off the set, her eyes meeting Jack's. "Thank you, Jack. It was a joy to work with someone who understands the art of light and shadow as you do." Leo approached, clapping his hands lightly. "I don't know about you two, but I think we just made magic." Jack laughed, looking between his new muse and his loyal assistant. "We sure did, Leo. Let's pack up here and get these processed. I have a feeling these pictures are going to be the highlight of the event." As they packed up, Jack felt a sense of accomplishment, mixed with a newfound curiosity about the mysterious Virilian who had walked into his studio and, perhaps, his life. After the successful shoot, the buzz around Jack's photos of Zara had spread like wildfire across the Celestial Harmony space station. That evening, at the event's glamorous afterparty held in the station's grand observatory, the stunning images were the talk of every conversation, displayed on shimmering holographic screens floating above the mingling guests. Jack, clutching a drink, found himself surrounded by admirers and curious onlookers. Yet, his eyes were searching for one face in particular. Leo, noticing this, nudged him gently. She's over by the terrace, Jack. And she's been looking over here quite a bit, Leo remarked with a knowing grin. Thanks, Leo. Keep an eye on things here, will you? Jack said, handing his drink to Leo before making his way through the crowd. Outside on the terrace, the view of distant stars and nebulae painted a breathtaking backdrop. Zara stood alone, her gaze fixed on the cosmic panorama. Hearing footsteps, she turned, her face lighting up upon seeing Jack. Jack, I was hoping you'd come out here, Zara said, her voice warm. I couldn't miss the chance to talk more with the star of the evening, Jack replied, joining her at the railing. Zara laughed softly, her eyes twinkling. It seems your photos have made quite an impression. You captured something even I didn't realize was there. That's the goal, Jack said, leaning slightly towards her. To show not just the appearance, but the essence. You made it easy. The conversation flowed easily between them, turning from professional topics to more personal stories. Zara shared tales of her home planet, Virelia, describing its vast lavender fields and silver oceans under trisuns. And what about you, Jack? What's Earth like? Zara asked, genuinely curious. It's varied, beautiful in its way. Mountains, oceans, and everything in between. It's home, Jack described, his voice tinged with nostalgia. Their exchange was interrupted by Leo, who appeared at the door with 2 drinks in hand. Thought you two might want something to keep the night going. Thanks, Leo, Jack said, accepting the drinks and handing one to Zara. Leo's been my right hand for a few years now. Couldn't manage half of what I do without him. It's always exciting, especially with shoots like today, Leo added, smiling at Zara. Seeing all that come together? It's why I love this job. As the night deepened, so did their connection. Their conversation veered towards their hopes and dreams, and Jack found himself mesmerized by Zara's insights and the way her mind worked. Do you ever feel like you're just part of a bigger picture, Jack? Zara asked, her gaze returning to the stars. All the time, Jack admitted. Especially on nights like this. Makes you realize how vast everything is, and yet how connected we are. Zara nodded, her hand brushing against Jack's. I feel that connection now, more than ever. Their eyes met, and something unspoken passed between them. Jack felt the pull, an inexplicable draw towards her. He leaned in, his actions mirrored by Zara, and their lips met in a kiss that seemed to defy the void of space around them. It was gentle, exploratory, and filled with the promise of new beginnings. As they parted, both slightly breathless, Jack whispered, "This feels like the start of something incredible, Zara." "It does, doesn't it?" Zara whispered back, her smile radiant. Leo, watching from a discreet distance, gave a small cheer to himself. He knew when to step back and let things unfold, the mark of a true friend and assistant. The night ended with a promise to meet the next day, under the same stars but with a new understanding between them. As Jack returned to the crowd with Leo, his heart was light, his mind racing with possibilities of what the future with Zara might hold. The following evening, Jack prepared his apartment on the Celestial Harmony space station for Zara's visit. The large viewport offered a panoramic view of the stars, providing a serene and intimate setting. As he arranged the living area, Leo helped him set the mood with ambient music and subtle lighting. "Think she'll like it?" Jack asked, adjusting a cluster of small, soft lights to mimic starlight. Leo, arranging a playlist of soft instrumental music, nodded. "Zara's not going to know what hit her. You've turned your bachelor pad into a romantic getaway." The door chimed, and Jack's pulse quickened. "That's her. Okay, how do I look?" Like someone about to host an unforgettable evening, Leo grinned, giving Jack a reassuring pat on the back before making a discreet exit through the back. Jack opened the door to find Zara standing there, looking ethereal in a flowing dress that shimmered with each movement, reflecting the starlight. "You look incredible," Jack said, stepping aside to let her in. Zara smiled, stepping into the apartment. "And you've made this place look like a piece of art." "It's beautiful, Jack." As Jack gave her a brief tour, their fingers occasionally brushed, sending sparks of anticipation through the air. They settled by the large viewport, glasses of wine in hand, the cosmos stretching out before them. I wanted tonight to be special, Jack confessed, his gaze meeting hers. A night just for us, away from the cameras and crowds. It already is, Zara replied softly, her hand finding his. I feel like I can truly be myself with you, Jack. It's a rare thing in my world. Their conversation deepened, exploring each other's pasts and dreams. Jack shared stories of his early days in photography, the challenges he faced, and the passion that drove him. Zara listened intently, her admiration for him growing. And what about you, Zara? What dreams do you chase when you're not in front of the camera? Jack asked, genuinely interested. Zara's eyes lit up. I dream of a place where Virelians and humans coexist, beyond just trade and politics. A real community. That's why nights like this mean so much to me. Moved by her vision, Jack leaned closer, his voice a whisper. Maybe we're starting that community right here, tonight? Their eyes locked, and the space between them closed naturally, as if drawn by a mutual force. Their first kiss by the viewport was gentle, a slow dance of lips that spoke of mutual respect and burgeoning affection. As they pulled away, their foreheads rested together, breaths mingling. Stay with me tonight? Jack whispered, his voice almost lost in the music. I thought you'd never ask, Zara whispered back, her voice tinged with laughter and warmth. The night unfolded like a dream. They moved to the rhythm of the music, their bodies learning each other's contours and whispers. Their lovemaking was a celebration of their connection, passionate yet tender, each touch and kiss a discovery. Later, lying together under a blanket, watching the stars, they spoke of the future. Whatever comes next, I want you to know, tonight has changed me, Zara, Jack said, his arm tightening around her. Zara nestled closer, her voice soft and sure. Me too, Jack. No matter what the future holds, we'll have this night, this connection. They fell asleep to the sound of cosmic winds, wrapped in each other's arms, a shared sense of peace enveloping them. The night was indeed unforgettable, a testament to the power of genuine connection and the promise of new beginnings, even in the vastness of space. 2 months had passed since that unforgettable night. Jack was at his studio, going through photos from recent shoots, but his mind kept wandering back to Zara. Despite their busy schedules, they had kept in touch, though less frequently than Jack would have liked. The studio door chimed, and Leo entered with his usual brisk pace, carrying a digital tablet. Got a message you need to see, Jack? It's from Zara. Jack's heart skipped a beat. What does it say? Leo handed him the tablet, watching his boss's expression change as he read. After a moment, Jack looked up, his face a mix of shock and wonder. She's coming over. Says she has something important to discuss. Sounds serious. Everything okay? Leo asked, a hint of concern in his voice. I hope so, Jack murmured, setting the tablet down. Prepare the lounge, Leo. I want privacy, no interruptions. When Zara arrived, her usual radiant self seemed tinged with nervousness. Jack noticed it right away, his own anxiety mounting. He greeted her at the door of his private lounge, a more intimate setting than his professional studio. Zara, it's great to see you, but you have me worried. What's going on? Jack asked as he led her to a plush sofa. Zara took a deep breath, her eyes meeting his. Jack, these past months, I've been processing a lot. And, she paused, searching for the right words. I found out something unexpected. I'm pregnant, Jack. The words hung in the air, heavy with implication. Jack's mind raced as he processed what she'd said. Pregnant? But how? Our species are so different. That's just it. It seems we're not as different as everyone thought. My doctors are baffled. They say this has never happened before, Zara explained, her voice a mix of excitement and worry. Jack took her hands in his, the initial shock giving way to a profound sense of connection. This is incredible, Zara. Are you okay, though? Are you both okay? We're healthy, yes. It's a lot to take in, but I wanted you to know immediately, Zara replied, squeezing his hands. They sat together, letting the enormity of the news sink in. After a few moments, Jack smiled, a sense of responsibility and affection swelling within him. We're going to be parents. Together. That's amazing. Zara returned his smile, her relief visible. I was so nervous about how you'd take the news. But Jack, I'm glad it's with you. Leo, who had been discreetly observing from a distance, now stepped forward with a tray of refreshments. I thought you might need something light. Congratulations to both of you, he said, setting the tray down and giving Jack a supportive look. Thanks, Leo. Would you mind giving us a little more time? Jack asked, to which Leo nodded and quietly exited the room. As they sipped their drinks, Jack and Zara began discussing what their future would look like. We need to plan, Zara. There's so much we don't know, but we'll figure it out together, Jack said determinedly. I know, and we'll need to consider how to handle the public aspect. Once this comes out, it'll be a sensation, Zara added, her practical side coming to the forefront. Jack nodded. We'll manage the media carefully. But first, we need to focus on you and the baby. Whatever you need, I'm here. As they continued talking, the initial shock gave way to a shared sense of purpose. They were entering uncharted territory, but together, they felt ready to face whatever challenges came their way. The day ended with plans for the future and a new, shared dream blossoming between them. In the weeks following the revelation of Zara's pregnancy, Jack and Zara found themselves navigating not only their evolving personal relationship, but also the complexities of interstellar diplomacy. Concerns about how their unprecedented situation would be perceived by both human and Virelian communities weighed heavily on them. Jack arranged a meeting at the Virelian embassy on Earth, hoping to find guidance and support. Accompanied by Leo, who had taken on the role of Jack's confidant and advisor, they met with Ambassador Thelos, a prominent figure in the Virelian community known for his diplomatic acumen. Jack, Zara, this is quite the situation you've brought to my attention, Ambassador Thelos began, his voice carrying a calm authority as he sat behind his large, ornate desk. We understand the sensitivity, Ambassador. We're here to seek advice and possibly pave the way for some kind of official recognition or support, Jack explained, taking the lead in the conversation. Thelos nodded thoughtfully. The birth of a child with both Virelian and human lineage is unprecedented. It brings with it a host of challenges, biologically, politically, and socially. Zara, who had been quiet, spoke up. We want to do this right, for our child. We need to know there's a place in both worlds where he or she can belong. The ambassador looked at Zara, then Jack, assessing their determination. I will be frank with you. Not everyone will welcome this news. There will be resistance, fear of the unknown. But it is also a profound opportunity to bridge our cultures. Jack leaned forward, his resolve clear. What do we need to do? How can we prepare for what's coming? Thelos turned to Leo, who had been taking notes. Leo, you have experience in handling sensitive information. I would advise setting up a series of controlled announcements about the pregnancy. Frame it as a symbol of unity, while being transparent about the challenges. Leo nodded, jotting down the points. We can manage the narrative, start with smaller, more controlled disclosures to key figures in both communities. Exactly, Thelos agreed. And I will arrange for some discreet medical cooperation between our best doctors and yours. We must ensure the health of Zara and the baby above all. Jack looked at Zara, squeezing her hand. We're starting a journey that's going to be under a lot of scrutiny. Are you ready for this? Zara met his gaze, her expression firm. More than ever. This child, our child, could mean so much for human-Virelian relations. I'm ready to face whatever comes our way. As the meeting concluded, Thelos stood and offered them each a hand. You have my support. Let us hope that this union will be a step towards a greater understanding between our peoples. Leaving the embassy, Jack, Zara, and Leo discussed their next steps. We'll need to be strategic about everything from now on, Leo said, already considering the logistics. Media, public appearances, community outreach, everything will count. Jack nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility. It's not just about us anymore. It's about setting a precedent, for our child and maybe for others in the future. Zara smiled at them both, her optimism undimmed. Let's show them a family can cross the stars. Let's make this work for everyone. As they walked back to their transport, the setting sun cast long shadows on the ground, symbolizing the closing of one day and the dawning of a new era. With each step, they moved closer together, united in their commitment to each other and their unborn child. Jack and Zara's decision to live together on Earth was marked with a blend of excitement and apprehension. The world was watching, and their every move seemed to be under scrutiny. Yet, within the walls of Jack's expanded and remodeled apartment, they found a sanctuary. Today, they were joined by Leo and a couple of close friends to help set up what would be the baby's room. "Okay, team," Jack announced, standing in the middle of the empty room with a plan in hand. "We're thinking something cosmic-themed, but subtle. We want our child to sleep under the stars, just like they're a part of both worlds." Leo, holding a box of decorations and tools, nodded enthusiastically. "I've got the star projector and some neutral paints. We'll make this a celestial paradise without it looking like a space station." Zara smiled, touching her growing belly. "I love that. It should be a place of dreams and possibilities." As they worked, they discussed potential names for the baby, blending human and Varillian traditions. The room slowly transformed, with a mural of a gentle night sky being painted on the ceiling by a friend who was an artist. "Hey, Jack, where do you want these shelves?" asked Derek, another of Jack's friends, as he unpacked flat-pack furniture. "Over by the window, Derek." "Thanks," Jack directed, measuring the wall. "And could you assemble the crib over there?" Derek nodded, setting to work with a power drill. The sound filled the room, mixing with laughter and the occasional barking of orders. Zara, sitting comfortably in a chair, directed operations. "Leo, could you place the soft lights around the mural? It should give a nice, soft glow at night." "On it," Leo replied, arranging the lights to maximize their effect. As the room took shape, the group took a break, gathering around a spread of snacks in the living room. Jack poured non-alcoholic champagne for Zara and raised his glass. "To new beginnings and a home filled with love," he toasted. "Here, here," the group chorused, clinking glasses. The conversation turned to more serious topics as they ate. "You know, this baby will have a unique place in the world," Derek noted. "It's kind of amazing, isn't it? A mix of two totally different cultures." Jack nodded, his expression thoughtful. "It is. We're navigating uncharted waters, but I believe our little one will grow up to see the beauty in both heritages." Zara added, "We'll teach them about Earth and Varillia. Make sure they understand where they come from and the love that brought them into this world." Leo looked around at the nearly finished room. "I think you two are going to be amazing parents. This kid is going to have the best of everything." The day wore on, and as the final touches were added to the nursery, the group stood back to admire their handiwork. The walls were adorned with gentle celestial bodies, and the star projector cast a soft universe of lights across the ceiling. Jack wrapped his arm around Zara, pulling her close. "Looks perfect, doesn't it?" "It does," Zara agreed, her eyes moist with emotion. "Thank you, everyone, for helping make this real." As their friends began to leave, Jack and Zara lingered in the doorway of the nursery. The room was a symbol of their commitment to each other and to their child, a physical manifestation of their journey together. "Whatever comes next, we're ready for it," Jack said, squeezing Zara's hand. "Yes, we are," Zara affirmed, leaning into him. Together. The evening closed with the setting sun casting long shadows through the windows, filling the room with a warm, golden light, promising a future as bright as the stars above. Months had passed, and the anticipation in Jack and Zara's home was palpable. Today was the day they'd been preparing for, the day their child would enter the world. Early labor signs had started, and Jack, ever the prepared father, had their bags ready. "Zara, how are you feeling? Do you need anything?" Jack asked, his voice laced with both excitement and concern as he watched her pacing slowly in the living room. "I'm okay, just trying to keep moving," Zara replied, managing a smile through her concentration. "It's almost time, isn't it?" "It is," Jack confirmed, checking his watch. "The hospital said to come in when you feel it's right. I think we should start heading out soon." Leo arrived just then, having promised to be there for support. "Hey, how's our star mom doing?" he greeted cheerily, bringing in a sense of calm. "I'm doing well, Leo. Ready to meet this little star," Zara said, her words strong despite the pain of contractions. Jack grabbed the bags, and together with Leo, they helped Zara to the car. The drive to the hospital was quick, the roads quiet in the early morning hours. Once at the hospital, they were ushered into a delivery room, where the medical staff were a mix of human and Varillian experts, a testament to the uniqueness of their baby. As Zara was settled on the bed, a nurse came over to check her vitals. "Everything's looking good, Zara. Dr. Morel will be here shortly. She's the best we have, both in human and Varillian births." Zara nodded, gripping Jack's hand. "I'm glad." Dr. Morel, a Varillian with deep knowledge of human medicine, entered the room with a warm smile. "Zara, Jack, today's a big day. We're all here for you and the baby. Let's get you comfortable." The labor progressed, and Jack stayed by Zara's side, holding her hand, whispering words of encouragement. Leo stood a respectful distance away, ready to assist or fetch anything needed. Hours passed, the room filled with a tense but excited energy. Finally, Dr. Morel announced, "Zara, it's time to push." With Jack's support, Zara pushed with all her strength. The room filled with the sounds of encouragement from the medical team. After a tense few minutes, the room was filled with the distinct sound of a baby crying. "It's a girl," Dr. Morel announced joyfully, holding up the baby for Zara and Jack to see before she was quickly wrapped and handed to her mother. Tears of joy ran down Zara's face as she held their daughter. Jack looked over her shoulder, his own eyes moist. "She's perfect, Zara. Absolutely perfect." "She is, Jack. Look at what we've made," Zara whispered, a mix of awe and love in her voice. Leo came closer, peering at the new arrival with a broad smile. "Welcome to the universe, little one." The medical team gave them time alone, allowing the new family to bond. Jack and Zara admired their daughter, noting the blend of human and Varillian features that made her unique. "She has your eyes, Zara," Jack said softly. His finger gently stroked the baby's cheek. "And your smile, Jack," Zara replied, watching as the baby grasped Jack's finger. They named her Lyra, a name that carried significance in both human and Varillian cultures. As they settled into their room, the new parents discussed the future, full of dreams and possibilities for Lyra. "We'll teach her about her heritage, about Earth and Varillia. She'll know the stars and the seas," Jack mused, his voice full of wonder. "And she'll be loved, oh so loved," Zara added, her gaze fixed on their daughter, a symbol of unity and love. As night fell, the small, intimate family shared a quiet moment, the stars outside the hospital window shining brightly, heralding the birth of a new life, a new hope. Several years had passed since Lyra's birth. Her arrival had indeed become a catalyst for change, not only in Jack and Zara's lives, but also in the broader context of human-Varillian relations. Now, with Lyra ready to start her first day of school, the family was bustling with excitement and a little nervous energy in their cozy Earth home. Jack adjusted Lyra's tiny backpack, kneeling to be at eye level with her. "You ready to start this big adventure?" he asked, his voice tinged with the same excitement he felt on significant shoot days. Lyra nodded, her bright eyes reflecting a mix of her parents' features. "Yes, Daddy. I'm going to learn about stars and planets and make lots of friends." Zara came over, smoothing down Lyra's hair, her expression a mix of pride and slight apprehension. "And they're going to love you just as much as we do," she assured, her voice soothing. Leo, who had become an honorary uncle, stepped into the room with his camera. "Mind if I capture this moment?" he asked, already knowing the answer. "Wouldn't have it any other way, Leo." "Document away," Jack chuckled, standing up and wrapping an arm around Zara. As Leo clicked away, capturing the warmth of the family scene, Jack looked at Zara. "Can you believe how fast she's grown? Feels like just yesterday we were painting her room." "It does," Zara agreed, her eyes lingering on Lyra, who was now practicing her introductions for her new classmates. "She's going to do amazing things, Jack. I can feel it." The family made their way to the car, and Jack drove them towards Lyra's new school, an institution known for its progressive approach to education and its embrace of interstellar cultures. As they approached, Lyra's excitement built. "I'm going to tell them all about Mommy's planet and about Earth," Lyra declared from the back seat. "And they'll tell you about theirs, too. You'll see how wonderful diverse worlds can be," Zara responded, smiling at Lyra through the rearview mirror. Arriving at the school, They were greeted by Lyra's teacher, Mr. Gin, a human who had spent years teaching children from various species. "Welcome, Lyra. We're all so excited to have you here," Mr. Gin greeted warmly, bending down to meet her gaze. "Thank you, Mr. Gin. I'm excited too," Lyra responded, her voice bubbling with enthusiasm. Jack and Zara exchanged looks of relief and pride as they watched Lyra confidently walk into her new classroom, her small hand waving goodbye. Turning to leave, they felt a sense of accomplishment and a poignant shift in their roles as parents. As they walked back to the car, Leo, who had been quietly documenting the farewell, spoke up. "You know, this isn't just a big day for Lyra. It's a milestone for you guys too. She's not just a symbol. She's a bridge between worlds." "You're right, Leo. She represents so much more than we ever imagined," Jack said thoughtfully. "It's our job to keep guiding her, supporting her in being whoever she wants to be. And we will, every step of the way," Zara added, taking Jack's hand. As they drove back home, the early morning sun cast a warm glow over the road, the light seeming to herald a day of new opportunities and adventures. Back at their home, Jack and Zara sat with Leo in the living room, discussing their hopes for Lyra's future. "We've started something beautiful here, haven't we?" Zara mused, looking around at the peaceful home they had built together. "We really have," Jack agreed, feeling a profound sense of fulfillment. "Here's to new beginnings, new challenges, and watching our little star shine." They raised their coffee cups in a quiet toast to the future, each lost in thoughts of what lay ahead, content in the knowledge that they had navigated the unknown with love, creating a legacy that would hopefully inspire others for generations to come.